Hello, folks. Bridges here. I've got my 7th period with me here, and I just wanted to make a little short video on how to, I'm going to be 3D modeling I'm going to call it a keychain. It's a little 3" by 1" name tag with a hole in it that I can put on my keychain, put my keychains on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and present my window, my OnShape window. I was telling my 7th period, I'm going to move more quickly than I would if I were teaching you guys in class, strictly because it's a video. I want to keep the video short, and you can go back and rewind, pause, replay at your convenience. Okay? So if you do have questions or need some help, feel free to reach out to me via email or during my office hours, which are Fridays from 2 to 3. At this point in time, I've got my OnShape gallery, if you will. It's just these are all the documents that I've made recently, okay, or ones that have been shared with me. I'm going to make a new one here. I'm going to go to Create, Document, and I'm going to call it 3D Print Key Tag. Okay. All right. So as with any 3D model in OnShape, we're going to start with a 2D sketch. Before we can make something 3D, we have to start in 2D. And to start in 2D, we have to make a sketch. First thing it asks us is, it's a blue box, what sketch plane do you want to sketch on? It never really matters which one you choose because it doesn't matter which one you choose. But since we're 3D printing on the top of a work surface, that's the way 3D printers work. I'm going to choose out to make mine on the top here. Okay, so it gives us our outline of our imaginary piece of paper. I'm going to go ahead and press the P key, which does the same as turning off the 3 eyeballs for the 3 planes over here. So P I just hit. All right, so now I am looking at my paper. I like to look straight on at it, normal to it. So I will right click and go to View Normal to Sketch Plane. And now I'm looking straight at it. And at this point, I just want to use a simple rectangle. You can use the corner rectangle if you want, or you can use the center point rectangle. I'm going to use the center point rectangle strictly because I'm going to keep this little origin in the center of my project. I don't really know why, but it's what I'm doing. So as I move out from the center, let's just choose a random arbitrary distance, okay? Meaning it doesn't matter, because next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our dimension tool, D key, and I'm going to dimension this to be 3 inches by half of that, 1.5 inches. I like that, right? By the way, the 3D printers that we're working with are called MakerBot Sketch, is the name of the model. And the 3D print envelope is, I think it's probably about 6 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches. So I'm going to try to keep it to something about the size of a Post-it note, what we're printing. Maybe, yeah, about no larger than 3 by 3. That allows me to get several models on the print bed when printing. All right, so let's go with 3 by 1.5. And also, well, I don't want to get too far ahead. So I'll say, you know what? That's all I need for now. So I'm just going to click the check mark and say I am done with my sketch. So when I'm done with my sketch, I like to go and view it in 3D mode again. Isometric. Another way to do that is, other than the view cube, you can just right click in space and go to isometric. Okay. And then I like to click the corner to give me a slightly, it's actually called trimetric is where I'm at right now. Okay. So now I want to, I'm just making a thin little plate. Okay. Sort of like a tile keychain if you have one of those, like I've got right here on my screen. Okay. It's just about 1/8 of an inch thick maybe. So I'm going to go ahead and go to extrude. And I'm going to bring that up out of the paper. Whoa, not 1 inch. How about 0.1 inch? 0.1 inch. Okay, that looks good. So I'll say check mark, and that's done. Okay, so there's my little plate, my little plastic plate thingamabob. Right? Well, the next thing I want to do, I don't like those sharp corners. Okay, I've got small children, and I don't want anybody getting poked in the eye. So I will use something called a fillet. And a fillet it can be done in a sketch mode or in 3D mode. And since I'm currently done with that sketch, I'll just go ahead and round the corners using the 3D fillet feature. So it's right up here, and basically it just takes a corner and rounds it off to a rounded corner. Okay. I'm going to choose my 4 corners because it says entities to fillet. Well, we want to fillet the corners. So 1, 2, 3, and I got to move my model to get to the last one. 4. Okay, and I could round off more edges if I would like to, but I like it like this. Okay, if I chose this edge, it puts a round on. Yeah, see, it didn't like that, so I'm going to deselect that last one. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm done with that. Okay, with that feature, which was the fillet. All right, so now I'm ready to write or draw something on my little platform there. It's about the size of a business card, give or take. Okay. So now I want to make a new sketch, and I want to sketch right on top of that little keychain guy. Again, I'm still in isometric mode, so I want to click on my view cube to go down and view it normal to the surface. What I could do is use a combination of straight lines and curves, and I could make the letters for the word bridges for my last name, which is what I wanted to say. So I could use the line tool and the arc tools and things like that. Okay. I know it looks like an E, but it'll look like a B in a second. Right? So there we go. I could make it BRIDDES, whatever, but it takes too long and I'm not really in the mood for that. So I will erase that, and instead of using lines, I will use this text tool up here at the top. Using the text tool, it says to basically draw a box where your text should be fitting. Okay, I feel like my text should fit in that area, and I will go ahead and type in my text, bridges. Now, there are a few options for fonts, but I don't like it that it's not a live update. So you just choose it. It doesn't show you what it looks like or anything until after you click the check box. Oh, okay, that's like way too big. Okay, so this actually, I'll be honest with you, this part I struggled with. I tried to scale it down by using the corner, but all it does is moves it around. So I actually had to go onto YouTube this morning. I know it's shocking that a teacher has to go look something up on YouTube, but that's the reality. We're all real people. So I want to make that bridges smaller. So I don't know why I didn't think of it. I want to use the dimension tool. Now I'm going to dimension the length of this side, or rather the width of it, should be just a little bit smaller than my 3-inch measurement. So I'm going to say 2.5. Okay. Now it scaled it all down proportionally, which means it didn't just scrunch it in. It brought the sides in, or it brought the bottom up smaller as well. So I'm trying to figure out why it's not moving, probably because I'm still in dimension mode. So if I turn off the dimension mode, okay, and now I select the item, I can probably move it back. Yeah, there we go. Move it back. And I'm actually going to make it a little bit bigger. Maybe make it 3 inches. That's odd. It's not letting me move it left and right. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. It just barely fits. Okay, so at this point, sorry about that, guys. Taking too long. Excuse me. I'm going to click the check mark and say I'm done with my sketch. And right now, if you recall, no, that's just perfect. All these are just lines. Okay, they're just invisible lines on my keychain. So to bring that out and to give it some texture, I want to again extrude. Okay, and it's going to try to bring it out an inch when I click on the profile here. That's way too far. You can see that's not a very comfortable keychain, is it? I'm going to change that 1-inch depth to 0.1 again. Okay, so now it's starting to look like something, isn't it? I can hit enter to okay that distance and finalize the extrude. So that looks nice, doesn't it? Now, what do we need here? I think I need, in order for it to be a good keychain, I think it needs to have a hole in the corner so that you can put your key ring through there. Okay, so I'm going to again sketch on the top surface of the rectangle here, the rounded rectangle. And I'm going to put a little hole. So I'm going to use the circle feature. And I'm just going to go and just eyeball a hole like that. I think that might be a little too close to the edge. It's tricky because too close to the edge, it might break. Too far from the edge, you're going to have trouble getting the key ring in there. So I'm going to go ahead and dimension that at just a dimension of, I don't know, 0.1. Why not? How about 0.15? A little bit better. And I'll say that's fine. Now, again, I want to extrude this shape, but look what it's trying to do. It's trying to bring a piece out. That's because I'm on add. I want to remove my material through there, and it removes it back through to a depth of 1 inch, which is fine. And that's good. Okay. So at this point, we are almost ready to print. So I'm going to take you over and show you what that looks like. Before we go to print, we have to have a file to print. So to get that file, to save this, okay, right now it's on the cloud, it's on your account. To get that file downloaded to your computer, you want to come over here and on the left where it says parts, we only have the one part, so that's fine. We're going to right click on that and we're going to export it. So we're going to export the file here, and what we're going to export it as is called an STL file. And mine, it's not working for me for some reason. Let me try that again. Export. Okay, OnShape, what you got going? It's saying export failed. So I'm going to go ahead and pause my video for a second and do some troubleshooting here. Folks in class, hang tight. I'll see if I can figure out what's going on here.